South Sudan, the youngest nation in the world since 2011, has been at war for more years than its people would like to remember. Its independence from Sudan came after decades of war. 2 years after independence, a civil war broke out, lasting 5 years, during which more than 400,000 people were killed and more than 2 million were displaced. The civil war was a result of political and ethnic disputes between forces of President Salva Kiir, a Dinka, and First Vice President Riek Machar, a Nuer. In 2018, a peace agreement was signed between the two leaders and a government of unity was established. This administration, however, did not implement key provisions of the Peace Pact, such as holding national elections and unifying their two forces into one army. In February, Kiir dismissed 2 other vice presidents and promoted his advisor, Benjamin Bolmel, who is now seen as his preferred successor. The Ugandan army has been deployed to support the government in its conflict with the White Army, an ethnic Nuer militia formerly allied with Riek Machar during the civil war, though Machar denies any current ties. Tensions escalated after a UN rescue helicopter was shot down and over 20 soldiers, including a general, were killed by the militia, prompting government retaliation. President Kiir accused Machar of inciting rebellion and placed him under house arrest in Juba, a move Machar's party claims nullifies the 2018 peace deal, though the government insists it remains valid. According to Justin Lynch of the Conflict Insights Group, blaming Machar serves as a distraction from deeper issues, such as collapsing oil revenues and Kiir's alleged plan to name Bolmel as his successor. The international community has been sending mediators to try and stabilize the situation and initiate dialogue between the parties, including Kenya's president, a former Kenyan prime minister, and the African Union's Council of the Wise. This is a 5-person panel of respected African personalities who have been recognized for their contributions to peace, security and development on the continent. The panel, which serves for 3 years, can be deployed by the AU to de-escalate potential conflicts and mediate ongoing ones. The people of South Sudan have had enough of war. South Sudan is among the poorest and least developed countries in the world. The civil war of 2013 severely disrupted the economy of South Sudan. Many people were displaced during the years of war. According to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, there are over 500,000 refugees and asylum seekers as of November 2024, with a further 150,000 new arrivals projected in 2025. Of the 11 million people of South Sudan, almost 60.5% are Christian, followed by traditional faiths at 33% and Islam at 6%. South Sudan's war for independence was also a religious war, since Sudan is a Muslim country. During this time, the South Sudanese Council of Churches was formed, which played a vital role in the peace deal of 2005. Unfortunately, during the ensuing civil war, the hope of Christ was not displayed, even though President Kiir is a Catholic and Riek Machar is Presbyterian. One Catholic priest said, "The blood of the tribe has become thicker than the blood of Christ." A friend of In Context explains it in this way: "The fear of God was not in us as South Sudanese, and we spoiled the precious peace that God had given us in 2011. We went back to tribal and power struggles, and self-interest of individuals drove the conflict." In April 2019, Pope Francis hosted a spiritual retreat in the Vatican with South Sudanese leaders, including President Salva Kiir and Riek Machar, urging them to seek peace and unity, a move that included the unprecedented gesture of him kneeling to kiss their feet. The South Sudanese Council of Churches wrote a letter to President Kiir on 6 March this year, stating that the peace deal of 2018 remains a gift of hope to our nation. It is a promise to our people, a promise to end their suffering and to lay the foundation for a South Sudan where justice, peace and prosperity prevail. The letter also reminded him that he said during the retreat to the Vatican, "I will not take the people of South Sudan back to war." They encouraged the role players to rise above their differences and to place the well-being of the people above political interests. However, the friend of In Context says, "We experience that the church is undermined and is not recognized as a valid role player. Alongside this, there is also the belief that the church is not speaking out publicly for fear of being a target." Please join us in prayer for true peace for South Sudan, which can only come through Jesus, the Prince of Peace himself. He is the one who can change hearts and minds. For the Church to be a source of hope and stability. For Christians worldwide to intercede with the Church in South Sudan for a change in the hearts and minds of their leaders so that war can be averted.